How you doing?
Yeah. What's good in the hood?
Like, actually.
Oh, yeah. I almost date exclusively black women.
But wait! There's more!
What?
Only
Tell
black
us more.
women.
I thought that was Pauly D.
No, we have similar tastes.
As in chocolate or just like...
Yeah, chocolate, yeah. But he actually, like, he's more known for it because he's been with his girl now for like 3 years, a Jamaican girl.
Why black women?
You know, the studies are, the rumors are true, you know?
Which is?
Once you go black, you know?
Explain that to me.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say black of the berry, the sweet of the juice.
That too. They're all true. I just find them really beautiful, and I like thicker, like kind of like slim thicker and shit. So they sometimes they're more have a probability of having curves than like skinny white girls.
Okay.
And then culturally too, like I get along with black people better than like Latinas or something like that.
Whoa there, buddy.
Because they have curves too. You know what I mean? But like culturally, I don't know. I just like I've always gotten along with like black people more.
When you start dating white women in between, what happens?
You said what?
He'll DM me like a beautiful black girl every day. Only.
Really?
Never a white girl.
Like monster asses though.
Yeah.
Like, those are kind of like I'm being funny.
No, but he'll. Those are, but usually.
I never thought of my top 3.
You gotta think of them.
Juliana.
Of all time? Oh, Juliana Alu, but she's Brazilian.
Oh, I know her. We go to the same braider.
Yeah, you guys kind of have the same like kind of vibe.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. She's like my top, you know, because she's like a little bit of everything. I like those like Avatar looking girls, like the tall ones with like the braids and shit.
Yo, when the tall ones with the alien face, those to me are the most beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, but they're in New York, but
yeah.
they don't really have ass in New York because they're like runway models.
Oh yeah,
they're not allowed to.
Well, no, you just ain't been up to Dykeman. You ain't been. You ain't been north enough.
But then they're not black though.
Ass up there.
But then they're Dominican.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he said he don't want black. He want Dominican. Oh, I like that.
No, he said he don't want Dominican.
Yeah.
I know that's what they be saying. I know black and Dominican. Okay, that's a no for you. So when you start going back, or you like date a white girl in between, what do you miss the most?
I don't really date a white girl.
This battle is about to explode. Live and let die.
I had to block out some of the names because some of these women have some other links directly in their profiles, and I'm not trying to get framed for trying to quote unquote promote them, right? So the first woman said, black men were the ones who started to say other races only fetishize us so we wouldn't date other cultures. I never believed any of them.
You internet niggas believe anything. Say, listen, I was always told, boys and girls, the truth is not the truth anymore because of the internet. The truth is what you can make motherfuckers believe.
The next person said, they, as in black men, need us to remain mules and under their thumbs.
You going to hell! Stop playing! You going to hell! You going to hell too! You going to be the lead position in hell!
Exactly, because all of the years of me interracial dating, I've only experienced one guy who was on weird fetish vibes. All of them wanted to settle down with me, but I wasn't ready.
I don't understand why you even did this to yourself. This made you look so stupid.
It's a big step to want to settle down with another race of man. It's a shame. We have such terrible dudes to weed through of any black woman would want a black man, but the pickings slim AF.
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb. Are you, like, medically speaking?
Black women are loyal to black American men to a dangerous degree. Exactly. Me now is definitely ready because I'd rather be happy than trying to marry someone just because we have the exact same culture.
Stop hoeing around all through your 20s. Stop hoeing around all through your 30s. You give your 20s to the street Negroes. You give your 30s to the pretty boys. They use you up, dog you out. Now you're in your 40s. And nobody's jumping to marry your ass. And so now you're saying it ain't no good black men. No. There's plenty of good black men. The problem is you gave your best years to men who didn't deserve it.
I agree with you. I recommend black women pursue their happiness because black men are going to do the exact same thing and won't think twice.
Congratulations.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Stop it. Get some help.
So let me break this down real quick. So this dude from the Jersey Shore was asked about dating black women, right? And he stated that he loves dating black women and he doesn't date his own women. Now, I want people to understand that none of the women on that panel decided to ask this man. And I'm going to say ask because we're about to cut down some stuff. We're about to cut down the BS. I want to know how come none of these women decided to question if he loved his mom or his sister or his grandmother or his aunts or the women generationally. Like, why wasn't that, a go-to, right? Because we've seen this before. And some of the videos that I've showcased to you guys before, whenever a black guy states that he has a preference, right? The number one go-to is like, well, so you wouldn't date somebody in my skin complexion, right? Trying to throw the colorism in there. Or you wouldn't date somebody with my hair texture, trying to throw the texturism in there. And then they'll try to go into the whole other thing. So like, well, if you would never, or you don't date black women, then that means that you don't love your mother. You don't love your sister. You don't love the women in your family. Like, do you not understand what black women have done? X, Y. Like, it'll be this whole guilt trip type of thing, right? Just because a black dude said that he has a preference, not being disrespectful, not trying to say anything out of the way to or about black women. The dude was like, hey, this is just what I like. You asked the question, I answered it. That should be the end of it, right? But magically, that's never the end of it. But when it's the reverse, when it's a preference, and he states that he does not date the women of his own community, nobody's trying to say that it's breeding self-hatred or it's doing that whole thing of like why do you hate the women of your it's none of that. It's none of that. They skipped all past that and they were just smiling from ear to ear and they were like, so what do you find beautiful and attractive about black women? Let us know. Right? Pearly whites were just directly out there. Body positions were just completely showing. Like everybody was putting their best foot forward and they were just talking so nice. And I'm like, wow, isn't that something? And then it even got to the point later on, I'm going to zoom to the tail end, where the guy was like, they do have, some black women out there that do have, certain body types that I like, but, going to certain areas in New York, you can't really find those. And the other girl, she was like, yeah, if you go up north, northern above New York, you can sit up there and find them, right? And he was like, yeah, you can, but they're Dominican, right? Giving you a difference, letting you know, right? Because anytime you normally hear Dominicans, they're like, oh, papi, me no black, me Dominican, right? And you heard the other girl, she just heard, and this goes into what every guy states, that a lot of women hear what it is that they want to hear, not what was actually said. The guy said, I am not into Dominican women, I'm into black women. She was like, oh, I like that. You're into Dominican, like, right? And you saw how she was like, oh, I'm probably in this. Like, I got this in the bag. And then the girl had to correct me. He was like, no. He's saying like he don't like that. He's saying like he likes black women. And she was like, oh, and she was still like, okay, well, I'm still 50% there. It was like even getting technically shut down halfway. She's like, I'm still in there somewhere. She was still putting her best smile directly forward. That's crazy. That is 100% crazy. And then not even to mention the fact that they started just going into just the body type, just the whole, sexual thing. And I'm like, man, so I'm like, hold on. So this dude ain't really describing anything of a black woman. You're like, okay, the body type, which at this moment in time, any woman could realistically have. And then you're going on a whole thing of, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, right? Tupac, right? And I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's it? I'm like, so we're not going to be, talking about like a caring, nurturing type of thing, great for relationships, great for a love interest, very supportive emotionally, just there, compassionate, sympathetic, right, intelligent and insightful, and none of that. Nothing. It was just all body. That was it. And none of those women there corrected him. None of those women wanted to take a deeper dive and like, so what else do you find other than the body? What else do you find interesting or something that you really love about black? That was not an in-depth conversation right there, at least from that clip. And I'm like, this is something that I see very often when it deals with somebody such as this. And they state that they date black women or are interested in black women or are curious about black women, or maybe even to the whole other side of not even being interested. Any which way this goes, and I listed about, I think, 4. It's never anything negative. You never see somebody trying to get high and mighty. You never see somebody trying to get, loud, or I'm about to sit up there and fight. You never see no type of aggression. There's never any type of masculinity or anything like that taking place. But I promise you, if this was a black man and he decided to sit there and state why it is that he does not date black women, why it is that he has a preference for Asian, for Latin, for Brazilian, for anybody else that is not them, it will be a whole session. It will be a whole introspective therapy type of thing going on where they would try to really analyze and write a doctoral or something directly about it. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is completely crazy how this works out. And it's completely crazy how things like this are allowed and they're not checked. It's completely crazy. And I want to reiterate again for, people out there, just in case, there's nothing at all that a black man can do about this situation. If you have black women out here who do not see the value, respect themselves, have knowledge of self or anything like that, there is nothing that a black man can do to fix this situation at all. Nothing. I know for sure there's nothing that I can do or say to in effect affect those women there and have them think otherwise about themselves or about the conversation. There's nothing I can do. And that goes to the other conversations that have transpired that I've been able to showcase either on here or by way of IG. Either which way it goes, there's nothing I can do. So again, I don't want that to happen to be some type of narrative later down the road where, somebody will sit up there and say like, well, black man can't do nothing about this. You got black men out here that do love black women, that are seeking black women, that want to be engaged and married, that want to have kids with black women, that want to date black women. But a lot of black women are not focused on those guys. What seems to happen is that when it deals with social media and when it deals with the black guys that are televised, seemingly black women want to focus on those men. They want to focus on the men that they know are not specifically looking for them, nor do they even know that those specific women who are looking at them even know that they exist. So that's where the attention seems to go. Case in point, look at the NFL draft. You had a lot of black women writing think pieces and theses about all of that. But yet, while spending all that time focusing on black guys that already picked where it is that they wanted to be, why not focus in on the guys that aren't doing the same thing as those NFL players? Like I said, when it is that people want problems, they will go literally searching any and everywhere for those problems. But people will never use that exact same energy in order to search and find and make a solution. It's crazy how that works. It is so crazy how that works. But like I said before, this whole situation, the whole conversation by itself is crazy. It didn't even really need to be as long as it was. I think it was about, like 2 minutes or whatever this clip was. And the most thing that you got out of it was that you got this Italian dude that is attracted to black women's bodies. He's attracted to their sexual organs, and that is it. That is all they are. And I'm like, wow. And all the women there were just smiling and gleeful, and they were just agreeing completely fine and dandy, and nobody wanted to correct them on that. Gotcha. Like I said, we will just keep this, in the notes, and we will move forward.